All right, welcome back and thanks for staying with us. This is Rapid Done right here on Rapid TV. Apologies for coming up late, but I mean, there's been a lot behind the scenes, but we're here now and we're on to the conversation we have lined up for today. Now, I have had very interesting conversations here over the week about women, about people, about men as well, about relationships. And today, we go again about one of the most complicated marital stories that we have had online in at least 1 week now. This conversation has flooded my FYP evidence about what your marriage looked like. And I'm talking about missing the times where marriage used to be something between you and your partner alone and no one got to know what happened behind the covers. You know what I mean? And these days it has become extremely public. Well, I have two very lovely ladies in the studio with me this morning, and we will be talking about the famous story about Frank Edoho. Now, reconciling knowing him with something as outstanding as Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to now seeing all of that trickle down to marital crisis is just a lot to reconcile with. On my left, I have Abigail. I told her to tell me her surname. She said I dragged her here. So yeah, Abigail, the girl I dragged, is sitting right here with me.
Good morning.
Hi, Abigail.
Good morning.
And then at my right, I have Tomin Singh Dabo. No, Oluwa Tomin Singh Dabo. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you, Martha. Hi, Abigail.
Okay. I'm sure that we are familiar with the story of Frank Edoho and everything. But before we go into talking about certain intricacies from some of the videos that have been online, let's just hear what you make of the situation.
Okay, so the situation is in such a way that even if you try to escape it, it keeps finding you. So aside the buzzes online, we have conversations around, like in offices, workplaces, even at home, and then you get to understand what the other person, next to you or thinks about it, and it's very revealing. I think the situation beyond the, let me say characters now. I will use the word character because it's their personal story and they know the truth about it. And so whatever it is we're hearing, right, or we are seeing, we'll just take it as, okay, we'll respect the privacy.
There's no privacy here.
Wait,
We'll put everything outside.
we'll give them the benefit of the doubt that, okay, it might be true, it might not be true. But the major thing that is of concern is the reactions.
Exactly.
You see, they say that post can be fake. Your post you can be giving out fake life. But you see the comment section, that is where real life stays.
Happened.
And the comment section has actually been the part that is mind-blowing, really, for me.
Okay, let's hear you, Abigail. What are your thoughts on the entire situation?
I'm not sure I have any thoughts. I have tried to avoid, seeing it on my social media. Everywhere I see people discussing it, I try to avoid it because, again, marriage. At some point, you should get tired of seeing marriage everywhere. Failed marriages everywhere, or marriage crisis. So the comment section is there. The point where you said, from being someone that everybody, or from being an inspiration, wanted to be like Frank Edoho to now being someone that just because I have a phone I can give my comment and say anything about it is also very concerning.
Now, you mentioned something very important, which is about the bad PR that marriages have these days online. Do you think that will deter a lot of young people from getting married? Because, in fact, one would think that seeing all of these stories online, people will be a lot more careful getting into marriage. But every Saturday, people get married. In fact, I've seen one that lasted for just 2 months and then it just ended like that. But do you think that this in any way would influence the kind of marriages that we would have going forward, or whether or not people would actually want to get into them?
Because people want to feel loved, and marriage is sort of a way to commit to, or is a way that humans have made it that we can commit to love. They will always get married, even if every day there are 1,001 people getting out of bad marriages. But for the young ones, I don't think it's deterring anybody. I think it's a learning process. You can learn one or two things from, okay, I know that when I get into marriage, I'm not going to do this. Yeah.
Is it? And for me, what you said is what I would like leaning towards. Much more than what happened to Frank Edoho and his wife is the reaction of people. I think, in fact, take it from me, this is the best time to know how your partner thinks. This is the best time to know how your friend thinks about relationships, about the intricacies of marriage and what happens within the marriage setting. And I say that because sometimes you'd go to the comments and you'd see very shocking things that people would talk about. It's either someone is, leaning into it, oh yes, if she's not satisfied in her marriage, then why not go out? If a man does it, why can't a woman do it as well? And then you'd hear sometimes, because the man, you guys have a misunderstanding, see the way you're yelling at your husband, if he beats you, sometimes it's just in the heat of the moment. I have seen very wild things. Beyond that, there's also conversations, like you said, in the workplace, at home, you guys just see these and you just chit chat about it. It's amazing how people think. It's amazing what people think about marriage. And I think that before you get into any serious relationship, business, marriage, political relationships with anybody at all, I think you should know bits of what their thoughts are regarding certain things. And this particular issue is such an opportunity to know what people think about fidelity, about loyalty, about the secrecy of marriage as well. But now let's go on to play certain videos that I think that put each of the partners in certain light in the public space. Let's start off with the numerous interviews that Frank Edoho had granted to several platforms. Let's go.
The best punishment I can give a woman is malice. I can stay in the same house with you, I'll not talk to you. If you cross the line, my wife knows now, I am the king of malice. I'll not talk to you. I will be whistling with my children. Oh, I love you. I'll be doing all those things. I say, okay, daddy's going out. What do you want me to buy for you? I'll go out, come back late. That is the beating that suffices physical ones. Why you go and beat a woman, then what? I don't do that. So anybody that says from any corner, crack or crevice that brings out the proposition that I beat women, so the person's a big fool because I support women. I was still the one who wants to be a millionaire. I was in the UK. My boss calls me. She said, hey, the sponsor, they are hearing things about you. Right. They said, you're not going to present this program anymore because of those rumors. Yeah. I said, okay, all right. I'm on the next flight tomorrow. He said, yeah, because they fixed the meeting for tomorrow. I said, but no availability. He said they don't care. Nothing. Wow. So get on that plane and make sure. I said, I'm going to touch down in the morning. The meeting was 9 o'clock. These 3 women, 3 irate looking women and 2 men. They didn't even... The men said, let's hurry up because they had fed them with stories. Let's hurry up. And this thing is... this is just a formality. We know one thing we are sure of, you're not doing that. So they sat down. So they started talking. They said, you commit domestic violence and stuff. You're a wife beater. You did this, you did that, you did that. I said, okay. I just kept quiet, listening to all of them. I said, all right, I'm going to start from one of the ladies. Because my voice was irritating. Yes. So I said, I'm going to start from when I was dating. By the time I reached marriage, and I reached marriage, and I went away from marriage before the birth of my son, then my first daughter, 2 of the ladies were crying. And I go, pam, 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 pam. I said, and please, nobody divorced me. I took my suitcase, and I left the marriage. That's it. Facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. The fact is true that when a man cheats, a man can cheat and still be in love with this woman, not the woman he cheated with. But a woman, it is impossible for her to be in love with someone and go and cheat. I disagree.
Uncle, no.
Okay,
no.
tell me why you
I feel
think
like
that
there
is.
are definitely women that can cheat without any emotional attachments. They are just cheating for whatever reason.
Let me tell you.
Because they want to.
And they also exude masculine energy
yes, exactly.
as well.
They're not
Let me
women
tell
that
you.
exude
Okay, let's talk about
masculine
energy.
Let's talk about the aftermath. After you sleep, after the guy sleeps with the girl, after you sleep with the guy, and you find out that the sex was fantastic, like fireworks, like 4th of July fireworks and everything and stuff. Are you going to tell me that you will still be in love with that guy the same way and not have a little bit of that love go to the other guy? I rest my case.
No, I'm not.
All right, these are the videos. Let's start. What do you guys think about the videos? What do you think about what he said and how he said what he said?
For me, looking at what he said and how he said it, you see, a lot of people have said, thinking that I once respected this man before now, but here is the point. You see, maturity is a big deal when it comes to life, not script. So when real life, throw its puzzles at you, whatever comes out of you is what is the real thing, not the script. So we can perform as much as we want, but who we are behind the scenes is the real deal. And when I heard that, I saw someone who has little or no empathy or even remorse about the things he said. I would have thought that he should have been someone who is well read, in the sense that that there are some things that you saying it to the society would be even you shooting yourself in the leg, talking about silent treatment.
Been in the media space
Who
for
doesn't
long.
who doesn't know that emotional torture and silent treatment is a form of emotional abuse? So him even playing down, that is the real beating, makes people feel like, okay, so you think that abuse is just physical,
beating.
You weren't thinking about it. So it means that in all his sincerity, he was doing those things to his wives or maybe his wife,
To punish them.
yes, to point out of his innocence. And that is for him to come to someone that is well read like that, to come to a am I the one thinking like that? Let me just assume that he was as innocent as many other people in court. You see in the comments, you see women that that's me and my husband for the past 4 months. That's me and my that's why you know that this thing is talking about is almost common, maybe 7 out of 10. So these are things that people go through from time to time, and it seems normal to the perpetrator. And the people receiving the abuse are also thinking, my friend is talking about her own, me say if I get my own, no big deal. Now how we go survive?
So you people are keeping malice in your marriage. Like, I'm trying to understand.
Now, talking about the other part of it where he says that you can cheat with a woman and not love the woman. Now, from some of the stories that we've been hearing, speculations have it that he has been dating the other guy, even the other lady, that's Sandra, before he divorced.
That's why.
And then some people are thinking, what a commercial
commercial
life. Like, okay, so you were being the side chick, and then now you are in the real space, letting you know that whatever it is that you're having outside the commitment you're supposed to be giving attention to is just fickles. It's easy to be a side chick. It's easy to be a side cock. You don't have to perform. As in, you don't have to do too much. Just performance and everybody go their way. But when it comes to testing commitments, that's when you will really know maturity and who the good guy is. And for the girl to think that she was going to get married to him and have it something better is just part of the deception that I think my gender
comes up with. Okay, let's hear you. Let's hear you. No, it can't be that, because I know that we have differing perspectives, especially when it comes to issues like this, as matters, like she has said, some people would think that malice in a relationship is not a big deal. I mean, it happens all the time.
It's not a big deal. It's that they have gotten so used to it, they think it's normal. For instance, my hairdresser, I know her, I know her husband, I've seen them a couple of times. there are some times when I go and see her and I ask, where's your husband? And there's a way that she looks at me and say, we've not been talking for, and I used to tell her, we're Christians. It's not okay. How can you not speak to her? She was like, he started it for, so I carried on. And I said that's not normal. She said it's normal. So it's not that it is that it has happened so much, it's becoming a new norm. Because like you said, if you go to the comment section, you see a lot of people seconding and thirding and saying my husband is...
And not like is even actually normal. Is the fact that is just to show us the moral decadence.
Is malice about morality? I just think that it's about people who are adults but have refused to actually grow up. Because I don't think that malice is a case of morality. Do you get? Because there are times when I am not satisfied with somebody. Sometimes it's not necessarily malice. If I cut you off, you will know that I've cut you off. So it is not malice. It is just like, you know what, you have abused whatever access we have, going on between each other, and I don't think that I want that access to be there anymore. So I sever the link between me and you. If that means cutting the communication I have with you, that's better. But much more than that, when every time I see this video, I might be a bad judge of character, but anybody who speaks like this will hit somebody eventually. Because let me tell you, if you are Christians, we say out of the abundance of our hearts the mouth speaketh, which means that it's only a matter of time before your thoughts become actions. And my question is, why do you feel a need to punish your spouse? Why do you feel a need to punish your spouse? Because if your spouse does something to you that is wrong, say it personally. I say it just so that I don't go out thinking about what happened here. So anybody that knows me knows that I will tell you here and now. Let it not be that if I don't tell you here, I didn't pick it quickly. Because this kind of stuff where sometimes something happens to you and you go back home when you want to sleep and I'm like, oh, this person actually did that. I will still address it. I'm sorry. Because you see this issue of malice. One person has done it. You made mention of the fact that people kept seconding the fact that, my partner and I have been keeping malice. There are people that have been keeping malice for 4 years in their marriage. They have said it. They admitted it. They said, I can't remember the celebrity now or artist who came and say she had been in that marriage and they had been keeping malice all along. Okay, so what are you doing there?
Maybe you shouldn't call it malice.
It's malice.
Silent treatment.
I think silent treatment is different from malice, because when somebody is giving you a silent treatment, me and we live together, I'm going to still cook, and when I cook, I don't necessarily need to tell you. Partners do that all the time. You are upset with your partner and you're like, your food is on the dining table if you don't want to eat, stuff like that. It's understandable. I think it's understandable. But malice is we haven't had any verbal interaction between each other. That's malice.
So what kind of marriage?
What kind of marriage is that?
Now let me bring it to one of the things that he said, and he said it with his full chest. He said, I will walk away. And at some point he was saying that I would rather, put the attention on my kids and all of that. Now there is something called avoidance, right? Which is when you don't want to face a reality and you don't want to face a particular. So now you were saying that you talk about it. What if you're trying to talk about it and the person you're talking to is not going to get it? That's where the pain and the hurt and the, do you understand, withdrawal comes.
Okay, you are married.
Yes.
You are married. So I will ask you, have you ever been in a malice situation? First of all.
Hey, see this.
You two, you are. Is that what you people do? Look, wait, I'm reading somewhere. If you have been in a malice situation, yes, right? How long did it last, and how were you able to move past the point where, because this thing has happened? But me, I think if you keep malice, don't keep malice.
Now let me say this. Now, in the context of this particular situation, let's put it in a context. Okay, so you're having an affair, and I'm telling you, even from the footage, some of the footages that we watched, and some of the things that the wife said, oh, you're going out with this person, you're going, and then the person keeps maybe denying or avoiding it totally. So, and that's where morality comes in. So you can watch your partner break, you understand, break in pain because you are what will I call it? You are breaking their trust, and you cannot do anything to salvage it. That is the immoral part of it. You are having an affair. You don't want to give explanations. That's avoidance. So I would rather keep silent and watch you. If you want to cry, you cry. It was one of the
But that's still, either ways, that's abuse. Either ways, that's still abuse. Because it's abuse.
So in that situation, if you are like, okay, you talk about it. I'm just trying to show you situations, real life situations that, and you can't move past it. Let's say you're boiling and your partner is not giving you ears. Most of the things that break marriages is when two people can't hear themselves. And when there are situations of hurt and is not well addressed, it will cause what's this, resentment. Someone once said that the major causes of divorce is not even the infidelity in the real sense. It's not the disrespect. It's the fact that you're not even willing to make it right. Now, some people think that making it right is saying that, yes, I did it. Yes, it's accountability. And it's beyond even saying sorry.
It is what? No, I'm curious. Honestly, I'm genuinely curious.
Yesterday, there was this video that was circulating by Pastor DDK. That's Debola Dejikurubi, who says that pastors should leave marriage counseling. And really, when you've actually broken the trust of a friend or of a partner, so let's say we are friends and then you've broken trust. Trust was built because of a number of what will I call it, credibility that you've shown. And when it's broken because you've given them a reason, or the person a reason not to trust you, and then it will take time. So the issue is, you've broken your partner's trust or your friend's trust, and you apologize and you think that, get over it already. That is another immorality. If there is anything like immorality, that you do not even feel the empathy that what you've done, you know, has really caused a real damage. And that's what happened, and that's why a lot of women are coming out in that rage, because you're wondering, why should people be celebrating an adulterer? Why should people be celebrating maybe Chike or Sandra?
Before we even get, because that's like a whole,
the problem.
That's a whole different matter, right? And yes, that's a whole different matter, because because that's a whole, and I need to put context to that before we even move on to that segment of the conversation, because for this, let's look at where women have been, you know, over the years, where cheatings like this happen. Women are silent about it sometimes, and you know, you go to your parents, we have like, there are receipts about that. You go to your parents and they tell you, this is marriage, it happens. You know, sometimes men cheat, they are polygamous in nature. And in fact, before we even go there, let me talk about the video where he was talking about the fact that, oh, a woman can cheat and she will love the man, but a man can cheat and the man will not love the woman. That is foul. Far, far, far foul. Let me tell you, there are married men that have followed women in this city that we're in, and they left their marrages and are begging, and they are begging.
It's an example.
Uncle Frankly,
allegedly,
no, he left. Let's even leave that he divorced, right? In this whole side chick infidelity kind of example, there are men that went to fling with a lady and they got flung away. They couldn't come back to their homes anymore because they actually caught feelings for the side chick and ended up wanting to be with the side chicks, and the side chick didn't want to be married. We've had instances like that. So I think that it is not peculiar to men not being able to love who they cheat with. Some men don't love who they cheat with because maybe they have an understanding that what I have at home is way better, and that's what I personally cannot understand. When you know that what you have at home is way better, but you also want to test what is outside. So not being able to move away from cheating is not something that is peculiar to the woman alone. There are women that, and I've said it on this show before, that if you go by the statistics, you would see that more women even cheat, but they are more silent about it. They do that clean and they walk away from their cheating and nobody talks about it.
Exactly. So we can say it's our nature.
Exactly.
Nobody talks about it, or nobody
knows about it. If you don't know,
Yeah.
can you talk?
Okay.
Nobody talks about it. But for the man, it's a lot different. What they are accusing the woman of being, not being able to cheat and moving, is what they actually are, because they are the ones who cheat and get caught all the time. But these women that you say will cheat and fall in love, get cheat and get away with it.
I beg to differ with what you just said.
Okay.
That they get caught. No, not that they get caught.
What happened?
A lot of men, right, from they tell you have this all the time, is a man's word. Like, men can cheat and go scot.
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe.
Sometimes I think that they do it so
To your face, to the face of your partner.
Yes. So let's
well, I don't agree.
You know,
I don't agree. See, I know that there are certain percentages of men that will cheat to the face of their wives, and I would say that they never loved their wives. But there are men who cheat and want to keep it as cheating, but don't know how to keep it as just cheating.
they're not skilled enough.
That will look like we're endorsing whatever that is.
No, they're not skilled at keeping it at the level.
I don't even care about their skill, but they just get caught all the time. Get caught all the time that maybe they speak to a friend about it or something.
Yeah.
But a woman will die with that secret. I can't remember the exact statistics that, because it was online one of those times when they say, statistics have said that more women cheat, much more than men cheat and all of that. But that's not the issue. Let's move on to...
So we don't agree because we say we have the tendency to cheat.
But we decide not to.
It's a decision to, I'm not going to do this.
Okay. So let's talk about the whole Chike situation. I've seen a lot of things. Chike mycene, Chike as a drug to salvage women who their husbands keep malice with.
Yeah.
I think we have AI videos.
Skit makers have not been making it easy.
I've not been making it easy.
That's where the moral decadence.
Okay,
now
but let me hear what your
enters
thoughts are about this situation that, let's think from what led Chike's wife to this point, even though that's not a justification. Sorry, now I'm making the mistake too. Frank Edoho's wife to Chike. Let's talk about, that dynamics. Which
based
is something
on the story, because
based on the story.
You can't actually be sure. Now,
but she hasn't come out to deny it, which means that there is a possibility that happened.
Because I was reading a response, that she was trying to be a very private person, and she can't believe that he's making her have to explain herself to blogs and to AI and to everybody. I think she clearly stated it there that not once has he taken accountability and responsibility that he was the one that made her
go out.
No,
so I saw it this morning.
Not even
okay, but wait, let me hear. I just want to hear what your thoughts are about, this person being married to another person, regardless of the abuse in there, goes out, cheats with another person, and the story is blown out. Let me hear what your thoughts are about all of that.
My thoughts on a married woman, as she said, an adulterer being celebrated. I don't have any thoughts about that. It's a lot happening. Again, I was reading this thing, and I feel like that was the best way for her to step out of the marriage. Uncle Frank has told us his side of the story, and she said she decided to do it because she got tired of trying to
cover up.
She was tired of the silent treatment and all the drama that was happening. So it's not okay because you made a commitment to him to, till death do you part. But I don't also want to say kudos
to her. But it's a situation like I kind of understand where she's coming from.
But there's no justification
for that.
For doing
even when the man has been
left
him.
Okay. Properly live.
But let me ask. I'm really curious here.
He killed the cat though.
Was she a side chick while Uncle Frank?
Don't you guys keep calling him Uncle Frank?
Because he's an
media persona. In fact, let me say this. I said this 2026 did not really favor media personalities. At first, it was Auntie Mayowa and brother. I don't understand what is happening, but let's leave it.
This is not a stereotype. Nothing is going to happen to me. I have no skeleton in my cupboard. Let's just put that out there. But let's move on.
This 2026 is looking really long.
Okay.
So I was saying that from some of the stories and speculations, Frank Edoho said he trained her through school, mentioned a particular year, that some people are thinking This was still when he was married or he was going through his divorce with his first wife. Now, here's my question. If I am a side chick, and I know that you're married, what's making you think that I'll be faithful to you and I will not want to still remain the chick that I am to another person? Now, I'm not going against the fact that, okay, she might have been pushed. Maybe she actually wanted to commit, but the silent treatment and the other things are pushed her. But I'm also looking at it from the other end. That's one thing I would never understand about my gender.
I want us to be very realistic in our conversation. I don't want us to be clouded by the judgment that is going on online. Again, you are a married woman.
Yes.
I just want to put a plethora of things on the table. First, how would you feel if you knew that your husband sold a property that belonged to you, squandered it, philandering with women all around, and not just women, prostitutes? How would you feel when you know that your husband is in his DMs negotiating with prostitutes online? How would you feel if your husband brought a prostitute into your home and had sexual intercourse with that prostitute on your matrimonial bed? I just want to have like an undiluted reaction from you regarding this.
So I would say this, and if you want it undiluted, I will bring it from a deeper perspective.
Please go ahead.
You see, a lot of people think that infidelity is when you go to the bed with another person. Now, I will bring it from the standard of Jesus, right? Jesus was not mincing words when he said that if you as much look at a woman lustfully in your heart to commit adultery with her, you have already committed it. So it means that things like flirting, things like view, they are all in the same. And most of the times, they have the same effect on your relationship as much as you going to bed with another. So I'm just saying this to let you know that don't even go too far.
Okay.
There are some people that they haven't even caught their partners on bed with another person, but something had already broken. So if, for example, we are here and your spouse, and I know that my spouse is flirting with Abigail, then me, I'm here now, I'm talking. Abigail is now looking at me and saying, I'm thinking that her husband was in my DM. You see, that disrespect is enough pain, is enough hurt.
Somebody that your wife is finer than. That pains me the most too. Now, somebody that your wife is prettier than, wealthier than.
The issue is not who you backed. The issue is the indiscipline and what society has sold as norm.
Okay.
Right? So, what society has sold as norm, what is it? In fact, if you... because some men will even tell you that, we never even sleep with other people, they shout. If you can't bring them, come house, uncle. That's to show you that they are letting you know that, in fact, you are lucky. That this one that you are still complaining about is not a big deal.
You are scaring me to listen with this your explanation. You're scaring me.
So
because
what I'm saying is that there is nothing as painful as betrayal, because it's betrayal.
What would you do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
I'll be broken.
What would you... Broken is what happens to you.
I won't be okay now. How will I be okay? And let me tell you the worst part of it. When you do it too long, and you're unrepentant about it, you are telling your spouse to check out of expecting too much from you. And at that point, the marriage is already breaking. And that's why people say that if someone is breaking out of a marriage today, not be today the music start. Things have happened that has been unresolved, right? And that's what I see that online when people are coming. So people have a lot of unresolved hurt and trauma that is not even connected to Uncle Chike or Uncle Frank or Auntie Sandra, because you'll be wondering why you're taking it personal. Not be you be, but a lot of people have unresolved hurts that has not been dealt with, that is around this particular thing. So it's not something any woman wants to go through, right? In as much as you even thinking that they are using your hard-earned money to fund the evil.
But anyways, she has also come out with evidences about her being beaten, and her properties being sold. I've not been married before, so I cannot say exactly what I would do, but let me speak circumspectly. If I happen to find myself in a situation like this, I'm going to go away. Like, I'm going to walk away. Because nothing is worth my peace of mind. Nothing is worth my health. Nothing is worth my spiritual stability. And I'm putting it like that, peace of mind, because why do I have to always be... I don't even sometimes... It's difficult for me to go through my phone and check the messages that are on it. You know how it is. It's difficult for me as an individual. Then having to check my partner's phone all the time. I cannot be involved in that. Secondly, my spiritual stability, whether we agree or not, I personally think that this world is more spiritual than it is physical. And I don't know, but having to interact with people as intimately as you do with some of those girls, like just random girls, puts you in a very bad place spiritually for me. And then lastly, my health. When we talk about this infidelity thing, we have to understand that there are people that came down with STDs that they can never treat. There are people that have HIV and AIDS that can never be treated because of a man's philandering. The painful part, these people happen to be faithful to their partners and then still have all of this. So for me, if I was speaking to Adesua right now, I would say what she should have done was walk away from that marriage.
Who is Adesua?
What's her name again? Sandra. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, Sandra. What I would have said, I think that's his first word, but what? Yes, because now you have made yourself a public ridicule by
for someone that says, because we really didn't know her.
I never knew her as
Edoho, you remember his first
wife
and second one.
Yes,
like for someone that tried her best to be a private person,
so
just walked away.
Just it would have been easier to just walk away. I know now a married person will always tell you it's not always easy to walk away. It's not, relationships or marriage is not something like that. But don't you see that? No, but don't you see that these kinds of marriages have produced more broken people than it has produced more healed people. I believe that if you are in a good marriage is wholesome. And it's not wholesome because you don't have fights. It's not wholesome because you don't have issues like this from one point to another. It is wholesome because we have decided that in our imperfections, we will sit and work on it. So at the point where nobody is willing to work on it anymore, it is walking away. The moment my partner brings a prostitute to my house, it ends that day. And I mean what I'm saying to you. Because we have children that we are raising.
Yeah, because I know that we didn't even come to that aspect. We're looking at the
outside.
Is beyond just...
Yes.
It also affects your children.
Yes.
They are seeing and they are growing and they are going to go into the society and do the exact same thing. The cycle continues.
Exactly.
And then I would say that a lot of people who have this particular attitude, like you see that lack of empathy, is something that is also picked up from environments like family and how they were raised. But now the issue will now be that how easy is it to, when people stay in abusive relationships or such relations, is because they still have a hope that let's see if it will
be better. You are not a rehab center, neither are you a therapist. That's the problem. Broken people keep getting into relationships and breaking other people. Before you get into a relationship, try to heal yourself of whatever trauma that exists in your lineage. Because it's not today you know your father. It's not today you know your mother. You know traits. You see traits. If you can wake up and decide how you want to look like as an individual, how you want to brand yourself, you're looking very beautiful this morning. I didn't get to tell you what to pick up. You knew how to match the colors. That means you have a sense of belonging. You have a sense of thought. You know what you want as an individual. So I don't have to tell it to you. So when you pick up traits like that and you see that you have picked up traits like that, it is your responsibility to work on them. Don't expect to get in a relationship and expect the person to work on you. Except, of course, I was open with you before I got into the marriage. I have serious trust issues. And before this thing will go, it is a lot, my brother. Are you going to be here or you are going to walk away?
Well, should I tell you where the main issue is now?
Where is it?
Especially for singles who are, Now, if you know that you have issues, the problem is half solved. But we have a lot of people who are living in deception, self-deception. If you hear some of all these men, they will talk about it like, someone wrote to Frank Edoho and said, you've maintained your credibility, your reputation, don't worry, go on, and all of that is her loss. And then I'm looking at the mindset of that person writing that okay, if this person can be thinking like this, then you can imagine
the breed of people that exist, who raised that person too.
So a lot of people are living in that delusion that I'm the best thing that can actually happen to you, whereas they are damaged, and then you're wondering. So now for you as an individual, it's left for you to be very aware of some of all these traits, to be able to pick it up, learn. And the issue is that a lot of people don't even want to listen to other people. Like when the scripture says that older women teach younger women how to love their husbands, or even singles. I mean singles, even if when the married people are telling you this, is like, wait, let me
that's
enter.
Because see, let me tell you,
enter
with the it's not because you are married, with the PR that marriage has now. That's why I asked you the question that I asked you. With the PR that marriage has now, if I was 50% careful, I would be 99% more careful this time around.
Yeah.
Because marriage has, and let me tell you, they are beautiful marriages. I have seen it. I have experienced. There are beautiful marriages out there, but the PR that bad marriages have is enormous. And I don't know how we are going to work to cleanse the system of this whole bad marriage, every man is bad, every woman is bad kind of thing. But let's do forward thinking now in 1 minute each. Let's just wrap up the conversation by, giving what your thoughts would be going forward for Frank and his wife and his ex-wife.
For Frank, I think I really don't have anything to say to Mr. Frank and his ex-wife. Whatever it is that your decision is, may the Lord be with you. But for those who are upcoming, just like you're saying, sometimes you're very careful, but you can't be careful enough if you do not have enough knowledge.
Exactly.
So first, there are things that happen to you or where you are right now that determines your choices.
Yeah.
So if you have things that are unhealed, it can attract the wrong person.
Yeah.
So the first work to do is not even scrutinizing the person you want to get married to.
It's yourself.
Is to first do the inner work. Now, psychologist says it that most times ladies attract a prototype of their fathers. So if your father was an abuser, then somehow you just find yourself attracted because there are some things that are not healed. Have you seen people who say, why are we so peaceful in this marriage? You're not slapping me. You are not
Damson Idris. I saw Damson Idris recently. Damson Idris, his wife said he was too nice. His wife was a girlfriend, I don't know, and she walked away. She literally walked away. But yeah, let's hear you. What are your thoughts? Forward thinking.
For Frank, and I think what you've put out there is enough. Please don't. You should try as much as possible. I mean, we know it is immaturity to come out to say that. Now we're asking that you please be matured and don't try and reply her. Let it go. We want all of this because we always say after 2 weeks it ends on social media. Please, sir, please, auntie, remain a private person. Uncle Frank, we don't want to hear again. Thank you very much.
All right. I guess this is where we will wrap it up. I mean, the advice I want to give, I have already talked about walk away, but now it's too late to say walk away because everything has blown up. They have already walked away, but everything has blown up in the face of everybody. So now you guys need to know how to clean up your mess because your children would see it years after now.
It's okay. Now,
yes, we have to wrap this up. Yes. So years after now, your children are going to see this. You need to be careful, to be able to know what they will be stigmatized with eventually. But yes, this is where we wrap up the show. Thank you so much for joining us on the conversation. Well, way past beyond the time we should exit, and we will exit now. Remember, we are active across social media platforms at Rapid TV. On our YouTube page, it is at official Rapid TV. Our website, www.rbnradiotv.com, would allow you to connect with us from anywhere in the world. Thank you so much to Tomin Singh. Thank you so much to Abigail for joining us. Thank you so much for being here with me again. My name is Martha Alu, and I will see you tomorrow.